What's up? Hello. I'm leaning away from my mic. I should probably sit up and actually start talking into the mic. Hello. Dying. Hello. Hello. Everything. This is working, right? I think so. It looks like everything's working. Music is going on. I will turn it up just a bit because I do have a compressor on it, so it gets quiet when I talk and when I do the yapping. But actually, now that I think about it, is the compressor might actually not. No, the compressor is on the right thing, I believe. Maybe not the game one, however. No, that's all correct. Okay, never mind. Never mind. What are we doing? So I nuked the project. Project gone. Uh, I did. So I did save everything. Everything is saved. Open that. Everything is like everything that was here is currently backed up. But also, equal to. I was just writing stuff down before starting stream, and I didn't finish writing stuff down. Now that I'm looking at it, am I able to share this? Am I able to share? Yeah, I can show this screen. I think it still looks correct. Yup. I should actually wait. Let me hide it. Close that tab. Go back to here and then show it again. Alright. I was just writing down stuff so that way I remember what order this was in. And how the information was saved. This is task. This is equal to bool. All the rest. This one's a boolean. Okay. I get the idea. I get the idea from this. So I need to make shit correctly the first time. And to do that, I need to know. I probably should start down here with how I actually organize my files. What I should do. I should have a file just for task stuff. Okay. I need folder assets. What do I need for this? I need why am I forgetting what I need here? I need the base task, create folder task. Okay. That's the task, and then I need a project wide new folder scripts. I'm trying to remember how I had everything in here. Oh, brain. It's slowly kicking up. It's slowly kicking on. Probably want like menus. Create new folder. I think. Oh, why am I tired? Stop being tired. Hi. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. Just like thinking over what I need to add in here. Let's also color these. Color red. Can I set? I can set a sub 1 to be a different color. What I want, I think I should set all my, I should separate these. What do I want? I want my task to do, my task, I'm gonna set to gray. Project wide, I will set to purple. And then menus, I'm going to set those colors teal. And then for scripts, new folder scripts, new folder scripts. Okay. In here, I want to color all of the script folders red. Okay. Yeah. Ooh, stretching. I think that's fine for now. What I need is, what do I need? I need a general stuff. What I need is I need just a script. Create new script. Call it general task. Yep. Actually, how about it should be general task something probably. General task. I want to call it general task functions. I think that works. Interesting. I'm like just looking at how all the colors interact with each other. Okay. So, okay, I'm just looking at how all the colors work. What do I need here? I need it so I have general task functions. I can probably open this and look at it. I gotta remember how I do. How does this stuff work? It's hello. Welcome to the Nuked project. I'm trying to see. Extends animal. How was this written? I. Class underscore name. And then this is general task functions. Alright. And then what are the functions I'm gonna need? Let me go back. Let me double check. What do I need inside of here? I need where is it? Okay, I need to create stuff. I need to set information, and I need to save information. So those are all stuff. Well, creating and saving is the same function. It's just different. Creating and saving are kind of the same thing. It's just instead of changing a file that already exists, it is making a new file. Okay. Yeah. Saving should defo be separate. Like, how I'm just trying to think of what is different from saving and creating. Like how much is different, because it is kind of the same idea. It's just a difference of when saving information, I have to load the information that was previously saved. Where creating, I don't have to load what was previously saved because there is nothing previously saved. Creating would be adding the info, saving would be writing to the file. Yeah. But it's a very similar thing. It really is just the only difference between like creating and saving is just the difference of like if it is being made for the first time or not. Because it is the thing of it is basically the same process of saving to the file. Yeah, it's the same process as same process of saving to the file. It's just one I'm overriding, one I'm creating. Saving and creating are a completely different one. I'm trying to think, cause I mean, creating, at least how my brain is remembering how it was created and how I was saving it. Creating is just saving the information, but it's not overriding information that was already there. It's just saving information that is completely new. Because saving and creating are both taking information that is given to it to make the file do the correcting. Save function should just save the info to the file, whether first time or not. Yeah. Yeah, the save function would save stuff to the file, but it's the thing of creating is also just saving for the most part, besides the fact that it has to create the file in the first place. Like, that is the main difference, because it's saving the same information. I guess it's this thing of creating probably should be different, but just so that way you can set up the file, and then saving, the save function should create the file if it doesn't exist. Yeah. I mean, if I make it so that the save function creates a file if it doesn't exist, I can use the save function for creating a task. I also have to remember how all of that works. Should probably... This isn't being shared on Stream. No, I'm gonna open up the GitHub to look at the old stuff a bit. When you say create function, do you mean a function for making the task or creating the file? Because that's different. I guess I should have specified. I mean, like, creating the file, yes. That's what I was thinking of. I was thinking of creating the task on, like, the back end, not the display of the task. Like saving and creating is both, like, I was thinking creating as in like back end creating the save file. But saving, if I have it so saving creates the save file if it doesn't exist, then I can use that when I create a function, so that way it is just this thing of creating and saving is the same function, and yeah. I just have to remember how that shit works. See, this is the one problem about having nuked the entire project. I can't just go back and forth between what was here before. So I have to pull it up to remember how it worked. I need to make it better than how it worked before, but I need to remember how it worked to begin with. Let me think. This is probably not the one I want. I probably want it's not in here, is it? Where? God, the old project was such a mess. What the hell? This thing was such a mess. What the hell? This is what I want to reference. How did I set task information? Okay, so it's this thing of I need a save and then I need a set. Alright. Can you not have a second instance of Godot open and just look at that? Well, I probably could, but my problem is I like actually, because I didn't want to have to mess with setting up the directory again, and also my computer is already pretty full of stuff. I did not want to just have to like I did not want to have the thing saving twice and then also have to reconfigure how GitHub connects stuff. Like, I do not have the original project still saved on my computer because I have it all saved into GitHub on a different branch. Like, I have everything still saved, it's just not saved on my computer, it's saved in a branch on GitHub. What's he complaining about? Identifier and body class? Wait, I don't... function. Oh, you're so right. There we go. That would fix it. Just actually typing things correctly usually helps. Let me remember how this is. Okay, I'm trying to think of how I'm going to set this up in a way. I mean, I can set it up in a way where I can get the information to save properly first. Because I don't think I need to change anything about the information that the task actually holds. Or at least currently, I don't think I have anything in mind that needs to change for it. Wonder why they made it function in Godot script when it's def. Interesting. That's a good point. I mean, I have not actually used Python before, so I don't know. I know that Godot is based off of Python, but I would still be lost if I went to go try and use Python. Why? Need pass. Okay, I'm trying to think of what I need. I need it so that, also be right back, I'm gonna go refill my cereal. No problem. I'm trying to think, how am I going, trying to think, because I'm trying to see how does this inherited stuff works. Functions show additional information for method. In some cases, call a method base class. In your child class is where the super keyword comes in. Super method, you can execute the method, the base class before executing. Interesting. For example, we have overridden to show interesting. So there, it's able to be overridden. I'm trying to think. Maybe that's what the polymorphism. Another benefit of instant which allows you to use child classes in place of the base class. You can pass instances of child class methods. Let's show our example. And our example, the method instance of a texture class, pass an animal class instead. Okay. Oh, you wrote so much code since I'm trying to. I want to make sure I understand inheritance a bit better in the terms of the code. Because my thing is I don't think I can. I don't think I can extend multiple, like, codes. 2D. What was the other thing? Yeah, extends can only be done once. So I need to remember that. I mean, if I had this stuff and then I put this into a different script where instead of extending node it extended here, would I then be able to go one step further and the one under it call that one? Can extend a class that already extends a class. Okay, yeah, that's why I was just asking. I'm pretty sure. Different wording, but I'm pretty sure that's why I was just asking about. You can extend a class that already extends a class. Yes. Okay, now the one thing I'm curious about, is it possible for me to... Because as I'm looking at this, I can call one of these scripts later on and have it do... So if you extend journal tasks, it still accesses stuff from the node. Okay, yeah. My thing I'm looking at is if I were to, in a different script, try and call this, like, as I see it, I need it to get info, then I need it to set information, and then I need it to save the information. What I need to know is there a way, instead of doing this and then doing something after it is ran in the child, is it possible for me to insert more information in here from a child? That's what I'm trying to see if I can understand if there is even a way to do something like that. Because I see I can call this later on, and then it would run, but as I'm reading it, it's saying this will run, and then once it finishes saving the information, then it will do more. But I want, like, if I have the basic information that gets saved for a task, if I want to insert more information than what is in the base task, I want to insert that information before I save it. But I'm not... The resource I'm looking at, you can have a function for get info and put it in save task info. The definition for it is done in the child. Interesting. I think my brain is translating that to terms I understand, and I think that is probably actually a better way of doing it. You can have a function for get info and put it in the save task info, but the definition for it is done in the child. So instead of... It would be like save information, instead of... It would get information outside of here, and then the get information is done beforehand. Like, if I made it so that this script relied on a script called get information, and then the child script, this script doesn't have get information, but the child script had get information, it would still get information from the child? Is that how that would work? I don't think that's 100% what I want to do, but I think that is partly what I want to do. And then it's also good to just know if this is a way that it actually functions. This class needs to have get info in it, but the child will override it. Okay, I see that. So like if I had it so that get info was a function in here, but that was just setting up information, and then in the child I can make it so besides just the default stuff information it's getting, it also gets more info, then the child will put the get info in here and then it will save properly. I think I'm understanding that. Children will override it. Yeah. I wish I can demonstrate it better what I mean with, because words sometimes I feel like words are hard to get like my visual idea across, but also I don't think I really could use uh Krita to visualize it, especially since I just do not have a steady hand. But what I would need is like function get in task information, and then basic example always given is like class called animal has speak function, but it does nothing, but it does do stuff in the child class. So it would bark and the class cat would purr. Okay. But and then I could also make it so that up here it would I could make it up here so that way it would play like one sound. If I made it like a petting sing where they then speak, so if a class in the class it will just pass. Okay. Yeah. But I could make it in here so like it says if it was playing sounds in order and it was something like petting, it would be like pet, and then going into the cat or like the dog, it would be pet, then it would do bark, but then the cat would be pet sound and then purr. Would be like an example of having stuff preset in there but also adding stuff. I think I understand that. It just has to settle in my brain a bit. Get into the wrinkles. You can do percent in there. You'll just have to remember to call it in the child. You can do preset in there. Have remember to call it in the child. Okay. Do preset in there. I think I understand. Like have a default one and then call it in the child and then do more on it. If I understand. I think it's the same. I'm on the same level as that. Because I'm just thinking in here, I want to set information like name, type, reward, progress. But for the longer task, I want to add infinite task, task Unix time, start Unix time, previous elapsed. Interesting. I'm just looking up the syntax for Godot scripts. Explain it better? Yeah. Because I was seeing like in the one in like the one thing I was looking at for inheritance, it has the function, and then it says to make it void, which I think just is to override it from the make it so that it's overridden from the extending. I am assuming like make it so it's not the extending one, and then they have it super dot show additional information, which does call the extended like class. and then it does more underneath that, is what I'm seeing. Yeah, additional information print, additional information can climb. And then this one has trunks. I think I see. So in like a long task, it would extend general task functions. It would get task information, void, and then it would be super get task information. Uh, yeah, it would be super get task information, and then the additional information it needs to get. It is super. Okay. So it'd be the thing of I would change it in the code, and then this will still, it would get the updated version of this inside of the child. I think I understand that properly. Hi. It's just the wrinkles are forming. Man, I need a haircut. I mean, I don't need a haircut, but I want a haircut. I'm able to like feel it in between my fingers, or like my sides, I should say. I don't need to cut the long. I mean, I could get the long hair trimmed, but my sides are just getting long. Do, do. Heritage from animal class. Okay. It's linking up. I just need to remember how to do this. Is your IRL hair like your stream avatar? Kind of. Like I think that with how I have it drawn, it makes it look like the undercut like goes very high up. And then also it's the thing of the avatar has it parted like I like having my hair parted, like when I'm actually trying to have my hair parted, but a lot of the time I just let my hair do whatever it's gonna do just cuz I don't want to bother with it, especially since having my hair parted like that like gets in the way of headphones. And then also when I work I put my hair up, so but yeah, the avatar makes it look like the undercut goes like super high up. And then also since the avatar like always has the hair to one side, it kind of doesn't show that the undercut is on the other side as well. Where was I at? Get task information. Interesting. Yeah. It is like just a general undercut with like long hair on top. And then my hair is wavy. My hair likes to get funky sometimes and is sometimes more wavy or sometimes less wavy, but is it's not straight and it's not fully curly. There are some days where it's definitely more curly and wavy than others, but it doesn't get like to be real curls. But still, hair product for curly hair does seem to work best for my hair than other hair products. Hair isn't straight, just like you. Exactly. It's also a mess, just like me. Okay. I think I've let it settle. Now I need to think. My hair is straight. I just like me. Smart. I'm zoning out. Like my brain is trying to think of what part, cause I'm looking at how I have this. I need to get the file location. I'm trying to think of where I want to get the file location. I think I get the file location. How do I write this? because I set the task path to the file location. I set up a new config, and then I load the previous saved file. And then I change the task config file to be the new file. If anyone saw my search history, they would think I am trying to learn Godot. It's how often I open up the docs in the forum post. I mean, people would think the same thing about mine, but the difference is I actually am trying to learn Godot. I cannot wait. I think I actually haven't said this because I did it last night. I I have purchased a standing desk, or like an adjustable desk, so that way it can be standing and sitting. Cuz I have been sitting so much and my back is starting to be pissed at me for how much I've been sitting. When are you getting that? It currently says Thursday is when it will arrive. I hope it's sooner. I want it to be as soon as possible because I am tired of sitting so much. Like I've been thinking about it so much recently, especially with how much I've been at my computer desk with like all the Godot and stuff I've been doing like on stream and off a stream, and just how much I've been playing at it. It would be so nice to be able to just stand up. Is it the same size as your current desk? It is not. It is. I'm pretty sure it is bigger. I'm not actually 100% sure if it will fit into the space of where my current desk is. It should. I think it will. I might have to take off the like headset mount that is like built, or I don't think it's built onto it, but it like comes with it. I think worst case scenario I have to move my entire room around. But I think if it comes down to that, I'm just going to get rid of my bed because my bed is like terrible. It like probably actually is better for me to sleep on the ground than in my bed currently. Where do you sleep then? I'll sleep on the floor. I slept on the floor for like a whole year at a point, just because I could not, like, where I was at had like beds in it because it was a college dorm, because of like the 1 year I went to college but really didn't do well. Like those ladders were not ladders. Those were just wooden bars that were like painful for my feet. And I also just didn't like sleeping in the high place, so I just slept on the floor. I assume you mean on a mattress or something? Maybe. If I get a mattress. I mean, I would find something to lay on instead of just the floor. Maybe. Maybe not automatically, but something. I mean, when I say my bed is bad for me to sleep on, I mean the mattress of my bed is bad for me to sleep on. Like that mattress is the reason why I do not have a a good pair of pants anymore, or why I didn't. I did get some newer ones recently, but like it like ripped open the pair of pants I had like just before I was gonna go to work. It was bad. Like I have to wrap myself up in a cocoon just so that way I don't scratch myself on the bed springs. It's not good. As I said, I should not be sleeping on that bed. That just made it sound like you pissed yourself with the mattress. No, not at all. The springs are terrible. No, it's not that the springs are terrible. It's that it is a bed that I've been using for probably, it's been over 10 years or so. It's definitely been 10 years plus that I've been sleeping on this bed. Cause I got it. Yeah, it's been a while. Cause Me and the middle sibling got a bunk bed because we only had two rooms in our house, so we had different rooms. But then had my parents slept in like the utility closet, like in the garage. It was in the garage. It was where the power box was, like a utility like room. But that's where their bedroom is, and we had our own rooms. But then when the youngest sibling was born, me and the middle child had to share a room. If you need if you need something, it might be worth selling or seeing if you can get a cheap travel mattress. Yeah, I definitely have saw. I want to find something to lay on that's not just the ground, but also the ground is definitely probably better than like the the ground is definitely better than the mattress. Then again, I do keep sleeping on the mattress, so I also think it would be nice if I get rid of my bed just because it would open up more space in my room. Like, if I had it so that I had a bed that gets put away when I don't want to use the bed. Also, if I put away the bed, it would stop me from going and laying on the bed. Would you still get good sleep on the floor? I I can sleep in pretty much anywhere as long as I feel good about where I am. I mean, I will get just about as good sleep on the floor because as I said, I slept on the floor for about a year, and it was just as good as sleeping on my bed is now. So, the only difference is I wasn't getting stabbed from what I was sleeping on. It definitely could have been more comfortable, but I'm not working with comfort right now, even so. I mean, I could. I have a box, like spring box underneath my mattress that I probably could also use. But it's the thing of like, I think it would be best if I just kind of get got it out. But I would be good sleeping on the floor. I've already been sleeping on the floor. Do you have a couch or anything else? I do have a futon that I could use. I've been leaving that in like the common area of my apartment. We don't have anything else out there besides a rug I had and then the futon my parents got me. Also, you should probably get back to development. That's true. I'm just trying to think of how I do that. Because I'm trying to think of basically, I'm looking at what I had before for saving task, which was I'll just paste it into here so I can show it off. I had it so it sets up the file. All of this is gonna complain like a bitch. What is this song? Is this deaf? I did not get rid of all the bad songs today before stream. Let me make sure there's none like directly coming up. Get rid of 5. Get rid of the end. Okay, that should be good for now. Yeah, this is what I had, and I want to separate it so stuff like this is in here. But I need to make sure that this information works in here and then coming back to save it outside of it. Dude. I'm trying to think if I want to set up the file path in the get information or if I want to set it up in here. I probably should set it up in the get information, maybe? Because I want it to be that it saves here. Because this is about saving the information. Oh, this is also set information. Oh, why can't I think of what I would do? Okay. What I need is I need to get these given names need to go in here. File location. I probably how do I split this up? I'm just trying to I probably would want it like here, get task information, and then I probably you would probably do the info that would be in every task in the get task, and then everything else would be into an extended one. Yeah. Get task. Yeah. That's what I'm kind of thinking. I would do all of this in here. I'm just trying to think of how I translate this into here so that way I'm able to more effectively set this up without it complaining. Ooh, yeah, good songs. How do I make it not complain? I could do if I did a for loop for an array, like I did it so for blank in the return. Then I do give task set value returned, or this would be X. Can I do arrays in array? Can I put an array in an array? Or I guess, what would this be? What would this information be? What I would need is that for X, I need it so that return is an array that I get from here of all of this information. And an array would be called a second array. Okay. I'm just trying to think of how I get like if I save this, well I guess if X was a second array, if I did X0, I guess all of this is actually supposed to say this task. This is all supposed to say this task. Unless it's a pass, in which case it's the pass name. Or the pass UI. What I need is I also need to get, I need to set up a system so that way each of the tasks have a unique UID. Or an ID. That's also supposed to be that. So what I need is did I delete it? Oh, it's because I changed that to say X. Hang on a second. There. So I need save task, get task information. I need name. I need, let's say given given name. I'm gonna just say name. I need name, type. I should also say what these are. This is a string. Type is an integer. Reward is another integer. And then progress is another integer. And then all the rest of it is extra stuff for long task. All of this is long task information. Given task information. Yeah. All of that's given task. So I would get this information, and then I would I'd return an array. This task, I'm trying to think if I make, what I should do is I should make this so it's functional with parts as well. Which means I should probably make it so I can tell if it's a part or not. Is part, I should say bool, which is going to default equal to false, and then is I guess I should do part ID, because if I'm gonna have a unique ID for the task, the thing is that the parts, if I want it so that the parts can have the same name, I need to do the same thing as in having tasks have the same name, where they get their own unique ID. So I would need a part ID, which is I'm assuming I would just do integers for IDs. That should, yeah, I'll do integer for IDs, because then I can use, I think an integer would be easier to set up and get than just a random string. I think I can more easily get a unique integer than a unique string, and then I can turn the integer into a string when it's needed. So what I need is I need it so name array is equal to it should be this task task name and then name if is part equal to false, else same idea, but this would be part name, and then this would be a string of part ID. So does that work? Have mandatory parameters after optional parameters. Oh, it's because I'm not setting the optional. This is equal to 0. Actually, because I don't want this stuff to be mandatory when I make a task, but also I don't know what I want to do with part information. I also think I'm going to change this down to get information, so that way it is more aligned with being a task and part function. Expected else after what? Did I do this wrong? Oh wait, that's what I did wrong. Name array is equal to this task name if part is false, else string part ID part name. Yes. Yes. And then I would return name array as the first one. And then I would just do the same thing for these. And then inside of here, it would be x0, x. Oh, I'm still inside the same. X2, x1, x2. I think that's right. Oh, everything is upset. Oh, that's because this is not set up as a variable, a new variable. Okay. Given file location. Okay. I'm trying to think. Given file location. Oh, I need to think about how this is done again. What I need to do is I need to get the name, the type, the reward, the progress, and then the I want to make the location. What do I do with the location? I need it so that if a location does not exist, it creates one. But if one does exist, I need to be able to put it into here. So I would need is, I don't know yet. I think that's another question. I think that's a question in a minute. What I need is variable type array equal to basically the same thing as up here, but with some slight changes. Task type, and then this would be type is part false, else part ID, part type. These should actually be capital P's in this part. And then this is type. I saw a chat message go through. I just haven't looked at it yet because I want to finish typing so I don't forget where I am. Yep. Alright. If the location doesn't exist, create it. If it does, just write to the file. I get that. My thing is that when I run this function, I need to give it the information that needs to be saved, but also I need to give it where it needs to be saved to, if it has a location already. So what I'm in my head, it's like, okay, what I need to do is I need it so that is a value that sometimes can be put into the equation and passed through. So I would do something like this, where it has a default value, so that way it can be called. But the thing is if it has a default value, then I do not know I guess I could check if it's the default value, and then I just gotta make sure when it creates a value, it doesn't give the default value back. I was just trying to think if there was any easier way of doing that. Like if I made it so that the task ID defaults to 0, I have to make sure that if it gets back 0 for the task ID, it will not. I need it so that if it gets 0, it creates a new unique ID that doesn't exist. And then if it creates that when it creates it, that it doesn't make 0. Which is a lot of stuff I know I need to fix. I know I need to finish typing this stuff up here first, real quick, so that way I don't forget what I was doing up top. Type array, and then I just need to say I need same thing, variable reward array, which is going to be equal to this again, but instead of task type, it's task reward, and then the value it is given to save is reward. And then if it's a part, get the part ID, and then I need part reward, and then this is reward. And then send back reward array. And then what I need to do is when I do get information into other ones, I need to get the super get information of all of this, and then I need to basically do what I'm doing here, but for the separate task for their own thing. And then the return needs to return the super information and then the new information in the array, which goes into here, which does it for everything. That all makes sense. I also need to make it so that when it saves information, it knows if it's a task or a part. Also, this no longer exists because I changed it. But now it's also going to give the error because I'm not giving it this information, which means I need to make sure I get this information in the save task. Okay, and I can get rid of that because all of that is now condensed into this 2 lines. Okay. One last variable, which is progress. Variable progress array is equal to this stuff. This task disk, this progress if part is false, else part ID part progress. I spelled that right? I think so. I missed an R, that's what it's wrong. That word also now no longer looks real, so good for me. Unless I've been spelling it wrong this entire time. Google, trying to look it up on Google is making it, it's not saying that, yeah, no, it's saying that that's the correct spelling. It just doesn't look real anymore. Hi. What I need, do I need to give this the same information as I'm giving this, if I'm thinking about it correctly? I need to give it this information, but then I have to give it more information as well. I need to, I think this works getting it. What I need is I need prog array. Alright, let me stand up and think for a bit. What I need is when I save the task information, I need to give it all the information that the get information needs. Trying to think of how I would actually work that. Because I need to be able to give it all the same information, but I need to be able to do that even if I override get information. I guess, what could I do? Could I send it an array? Would that work? if I had an array that was all of the correct information, I could send an array. I could send different arrays depending on what code. And then I wouldn't need to change the save task information in like the subsequent in the children. I wouldn't need to change that in the children. Hmm. My brain is I does that make sense? Does that make sense? If I gave save task information an array, that array then goes into the get information, and then that array goes to all the parts in there. I just have to make sure whenever I create the array, it is the correct array for the task type. I think. Does that make sense? I'm like trying to see if there is a flaw with my logic, and I'm not seeing a flaw. But also that could be me overlooking a flaw. Because if I give get information an array, then in the later stuff I can give an array with more information in it. And then it should still work the exact same. I feel like there's a flaw that I'm overlooking, but I can't think of what it would be. What is it you're doing? I'm trying to just make sure that I have it. It's only half listening. I just want to make sure that when I have this, what I need to make sure that the information I put into here gets put properly into the get information, but I need it so that no matter if the get information is the basic version or if it's one of the child classes, that the save task information gives it without having to change it in here. So in my mind, I'm thinking I give it an array, and then that array can go into here, and then it can take the array from here and then use that array instead of the named stuff. And then since it's getting that array, I can also put an array that is bigger in the child classes into the save task information, because save task information doesn't care how big the array is. It is the get information that cares how big the array is. So I can give the array, and then I just gotta remember what order stuff goes into the array. So as long as I remember what order stuff goes into the array, it should be fine. I just feel like I am forgetting something in I feel like I'm missing something that would make that not work. What info is in the array? So as I have it right now, get information requires a name, a type, a reward, and then a progress. And so what I need is I need to put the name and type reward progress into here inside of the save task information. But when I go to a child, get information is going to have more than name, type, reward, and progress. But save task information would not. If I put name, type, task, progress into here, then I could pass this information into get information. But if I added more like stuff for the children, would the reward and stuff be a variable in the object? And what order? What do you mean by that? Like this is for save. Like the reward would need to be saved alongside the rest of the information because all the tasks have different rewards. So that's something. I don't know. My main thing is I'm just trying to figure out how I would get the save information. So wouldn't all the info just be variables? Yeah, in like all the information in here would be variables that then go into here. Why aren't they variable? In what sense do you mean they aren't variables? Do you mean like why can't I put variables into here, or why aren't they variables for the task itself? That's making me think a little. That's making me think. Why aren't they? No, why aren't just variables at the top of this class? I'm trying to think if that is correct. I don't think that solves the overall problem. Because if I do make name, type, reward, and progress all variables at the top here, that doesn't solve the problem of needing in longer task or like in the different children needing more variables, because I would still then need to be able to put more variables into save task information into children. But then that means I have to override here, and then I can't change the get information unless I write all of this again in the child, which is what I'm trying to avoid. What file type are you saving the info to? It is, I believe, considered a config file. I think there are other files. I'm sure there are other file systems that would work to save the information to. I just know config files are like what I saw most recommended for saving this type of information in Godot, like saving settings, and it just I'm sure there are other ways to save this information, but the config file is something I understand, and then it means that the task can also have a subsection for the parts of the task so that they're saved in the same file location because they're a part of the same thing. Because a complicated task needs to be able to call the task information as well as the part information. Would JSON be better for this? What would the benefit of a JSON file? I also don't know how I would save a JSON file in Godot. I'm sure it's probably something very similar to this in some aspect. But what would be the benefits of a JSON file over a config file. It's like a directory. If you know what those are. I think I do. I mean, I think that's that kind of just sounds like what the config file is for. Because I'm pretty sure it's the thing of, if I remember correctly, this is a bunch of like the like config file has, if I'm not mistaken, was doing similar things to the directory classes. From what I remember, I know directory and the config files were overlapping a lot when I was looking at them, but maybe I'm just like mixing stuff up. Yes, kind of, because I know it gets the file from the directory. Because I don't have it in here right now, but the given file location is like is from the directory. I don't know what the difference between what a JSON file would a JSON file would actually do compared to the config file. Dictionary. I'm dyslexic. I just have to be. Reading is so hard. Dictionary. Then I do not know what about dictionaries. Is that a interesting. I'm like reading a little bit about JSON's only limited number of data types can be stored. Parse array stored. JSON only has a number of types to separate float. Imagine you're like a low number. Next. Files looking at this class benefit setting default values. Read, which is probably streamlined reading an adjacent directory. Key exists. Unless you want to do something else. There's no value. Which case default values. Store retrieve Godot value. Okay. Well, that is one thing, is storing a good. One of the main things I'm seeing is being able to store Godot variables, which doesn't really matter for stuff like string, integer, and a boolean, I don't think. Godot in most parts, it doesn't matter. Standard on web and high score. Interesting. Class. Streamline. JSON file. Yeah. So whether you need inter so it's the main thing I'm seeing is like config files can hold different, it can hold like vector trees, colors and stuff like that, and then it can hold both integers and floats, where JSON does not hold those as well, but also JSON is used more universally is the main thing I'm seeing from these two comparisons. But also maybe there's something I'm missing. Yeah, I'm not seeing up to you at the end of the day. I'm not seeing a reason for JSON files at the moment, because it seems like their main job between the JSON file and the config file is the same idea. It is just the JSON files, they can't store vector 2s or colors the same way that a config file could, which doesn't it that doesn't matter for the task, or at least currently doesn't matter for task, but it would make it easier for settings, like other settings, because I know I have, like, for colors, actually saving colors, it would definitely be better for a config file in that case. And if I just save all the information in the same file type, so that way I'm just more used to it. Still do the settings in the config. Yeah, I mean, it's just the thing of, I could learn how JSONs work. And then the thing is that like all of the files that are saving, I'm saving two different types of files, where I could also store color as a string for hex code. Yeah, that is the other thing, is just listing it out. And then it's just the thing of, then when I grab the information, I have to do more, what's it called? When I grab the information, I'll have to just recompile it into a color or a vector 3, instead of it saving the information as one of those. Yeah. I probably do want to look more into JSON files for the future, but I think I'm going to stick with config files, just because that is also kind of just, I understand how config files work in Godot already, and there isn't too much of a reason why I would switch to JSON, unless I were to try and like share this information with other resources besides a Godot like engine based system, but I don't see the what I would use that for. And then also I could probably come up with a way to convert a config file into a JSON if it comes down like in the far future where I do need to convert it to a JSON. So I think I will stick with the config file. I don't know if that adventure I don't think actually helped me figure out what my solution's gonna be still. I do think the array would work. Giving an array of information and just remembering the order of which the array is made. Explain to me how to config saving works. I can help you then. So when it, I'm trying to see. I'm trying to remember it. So it gets the file location, it sets up the config file, and I can load what was already there, so that way it doesn't just erase all the information when I save it again. And then what I would do is I would set an information. I would set it underneath this task or the part ID, because in complicated tasks I want it so that the parts are connected to the task file. And then I would save it so it would be like where it is in the file, what the information is actually being saved as, and then the value. I wonder, I can probably pull up, can I show Notepad on stream without it being a problem? I think I can show Notepad. That, as long as I don't click that one button, I can show Notepad. Okay. Because if I show it here, it like saves this task and then it has the values underneath it, and then it's equal to the value I put in there. And then it can save vector 3s, and it can save colors. This one does not save colors, but it's able to save information. And then I can have it so unique ID for part, and then the part information is also inside of here. And then at the end, you are saving it in an array. So I have it. It will set the information in the file based on the information that it gets. It would get all of the information in the array, and then for each one of these, it will set the value in the spot, in the location, in the like setting, and then the value it got. And then at the end, it would save that entire new file, all the edited parts of it. And then that would just save to the config file. Make a blank array at the start of the function, and then append the variables to it instead. I'm trying to understand what you mean there. Make a blank array at the start of the function, and then append the variables to it instead. Like, make a blank array and then add more variables to it. I think I understand that. My thing is that I want to add the value at the start of get information, make a blank array. Yeah. So like at the start, make a blank array and then put the information in it, and then in the child you just append to the array. Oh, like add more information to the array. That is kind of what I'm thinking. Okay. Hmm. I would make the array in here, and then I would add to the array. I I think that is kind of my idea with the return. My problem is what information I actually give to get information. Because what I have is I need to give it this information to start with instead of like this is giving it the name, the type, the reward, and the progress. Don't give the information. Just have it as a class variable. I don't. I think there is some disconnect because I need to give it the information so that way it can save the information unless I'm missing something. Class variables. Why? It. I'm trying to think of where the disconnect is happening. It is taking this information. Why can't they be class variables? Like, why can't they be like just class variables? It's because I'm trying to think of what I'm trying to think of what class variables. I think I could make it class variables where name is just a part of the class, but I don't think that fixes the problem of would that fix the problem actually? Actually, I think I'm overthinking it. That probably would. My what I was thinking is if I set it up here, it okay. I think I am missing the bigger picture because I could add more class variables for the children. I could put those in here still into here, and then to get information. I think that actually would work, wouldn't it? Because my thinking was if I made these, okay, I think you might be correct. You need to store the class variables somewhere. Anyways, yeah, I think my disconnect was I was thinking that what was it? I was thinking even if I made the variables up here, I was still thinking, oh, if I am remember name redefine. Be quiet. I'll fix you later. I was thinking if I set it up here, I still need to put it in here so I can give it to get information, but I don't need to do that because I could just have it so get information runs and then it gets the name, type, reward, and that from the variables. And then in the children have more variables than it will get the variables of the class name and its own children, and then this will still work. And then I can add more of these lines to get information in the children with the new variables, and then this would still work. That would still work. I was overthinking it a bit. That would work. I'm just rerunning through my head to make sure that I'm not overlooking anything. Because that would be better than just putting an array in. So instead of giving it this, I would just set the variables, variable name, variable type, variable, what was the other ones? Reward? Reward, and then variable progress. Okay. Yes. It's upset about the name. Member name redefine original. Okay, name needs to be its own thing. Its own thing. What would name what because I don't want to call it task or part name because I want this to be universal for part and task. So what I want is I don't want name, I want what's another name that I could give to it? What's another name for names? Title? I could give it title instead of name. Yeah. Oh, I said it and then it appeared in chat. Title. And that would work instead of name. Yep. And then I should probably change how it saves from task name to text title. Am I spelling that right? I typed it before I heard you say it. Stream latency. Yeah, no, I understand. We came up with the same idea at the same time. It's just stream. So that way, I have stream latency. So that way, if all of a sudden my full legal name and street address appear on stream, I can end stream before it gets to Twitch. Hopefully, if I'm fast enough. My dyslexic ass. I'm just seeing title and I'm just thinking tittle. Like it is just separating the word out. Oh wait. I actually... Okay, what I need to do is I need to set these to their rightful class. Int. Integer. I get... Do I want to set is part? I think with how much I'm going to use this variable, I actually probably should. Is variable is part is a boolean which defaults to false. What update is this song from? I'm not gonna check. Let me think. Is this the cave? I believe this is Caves and Cliffs. Nope, this is Tricky Trials. Fuck me. I should have known that one. This is the soundtrack I listen to the most. It is called Deeper, which does sound like it would be a song from Caves and Cliffs, but it is from Tricky Trials. Oh, it's even Rain. I should have definitely should have known which one it was from. I should also preemptively. Also, I haven't checked. When I talk, does the music get quieter? Cuz I think it should be. If I set it up correctly, it should be. I haven't noticed it. I don't know. Well, if I start talking, does the music get quieter? And then when I shut up for a while, does it get louder again? I guess I could just check it myself. I just don't like listening to my voice. I'm also using headphones right now. Yeah. Because I I also don't know how this compressor works for it. I don't know. I should probably actually learn how the compressor fully works, so that way I can know how to set up more properly. Doo doo. Okay. I need is part. I need. Do you want me to try it with headphones? I mean, I don't know how much more noticeable it would be. It was the main thing of I had it because it was probably, oh, when was the last time I was playing Minecraft besides the time I rage quit into Minecraft? But I had Kodo in stream, and they were talking about how Minecraft sometimes was louder than my voice, and told me about adding a compressor that is sub docked to my mic, so that way when I am talking it would get quieter, and then when I'm not talking it would be louder. But turn it down for Pig Step. I don't know why Pig Step is just so much louder than all the other songs. But yeah, it was mostly just I want it so that when I do talk, stuff goes down. Oh, hello, welcome in. Pig Step on top. Pig Step is really good. It's just also really loud. It's just the loudest song in the soundtracks. Do, do. I need to figure out. I need is parts. I need part ID. And then I also need task ID. Variable task ID. Variable part ID. And then these could default to 0. And then those should probably be integers. What's this game, bruh? I am currently not working on a game. I'm currently working on a task management system that will give me a reward for completing tasks, so that way I can trick my brain into doing more things. The problem is that I am very bad at coding, and me being very bad at coding is the reason why I'm at square one with it, because I had to completely nuke the original project, making the cure. Yeah, I have a thing. Why don't I use it? Cure. Oh wait, no, I already okay, wait. I had already typed progress because I was trying to make sure I was spelling progress correctly. Yeah. I don't have it mentioned in there that I had to nuke the project because of not understanding how stuff works and wanting to make everything just better, which is great. We love going to square one. But then again, I am making this much smarter now. Just knowing how to inherit stuff apparently is really helpful. So instead of having 15 autoloaders, I could just have stuff called the classes. Hi. I'm trying to think if there's a way I can make this simpler, but I don't really think I could, because I can't really make this into less arrays, because I need it so that I can get the type into here and then into here, which just, I don't know. And then it's the thing of I still have to write all of that multiple times, so I don't think, I'm sure there's probably a way I can make it so it's less, but also it would just be a lot of work to just make 4 lines of code one. And then I would still have to edit it, like have to find a way to make it work with the child classes. Let's see. Function save task information. I need to figure out how I get the file. I need, where was I saving the information before? What was, how did writing that? Why does doing directory dot remove? Oh, that's the end of task. I'm deleting it. That's why it's getting removed. I'm just looking at the old code to see how I made everything work. And I made it work like a dumbass, so it's hard to read. I swear there was a better way I had it written, probably in the create stuff. If I go all the way up to main menu, task handler, task creator, I probably have it in here. Oh, that's the scene, not the script. Task creator, Godot script. How did I want to double check how I wrote this. Save path, it was user task list. Because I want to save it to the user file so that way it's not, that way like all the test ones I do does not go to, like all the test ones don't go out. Yeah, I want to say make it so that, and then I need to make it so that it is the correct file type. So what I need is I need to if task ID is equal to 0, I need to make it so make unique. Do I make a different function for making a unique? I also have to think, how do I make a unique ID? How would I properly make a unique ID for this? I guess I could just make it give a... I could make it give a just a random string of numbers, like to the point where the amount of numbers that like would be impossible for the random number to make it impossible to run out of ability to make a task. The problem with that arises, could generate a UID. Can you generate a UID? I need to figure out what a UUID is. I feel like it resource. Inheritance objects, a singleton that manages unique identifier for all resources. Unique identifier allows the engine to keep references between resources. Okay. Interesting. Method create ID generates a random resource UID, which is generated to be unique within the list of currently loaded UIDs. Okay. I can create an ID. I wonder if turns the path of the given UID. I wonder. I know that this UID works from what I'm looking at because I can get should be able to copy pass I should be able to get UID from here. I know I could get it from inside a scene, but I saw I could get the UID. I swear I was able to get the UID down here. Maybe I just can't get it for a script. Create scene. Am I able to get the UID for this one? Yeah, I can copy a UID for the... I just can't get the script one. Probably because the script UID changes. Save. I also don't know if the UID... That's not what I'm talking about. Okay, I think I was gonna say, I also don't think this is... Let me see if I can... One of the top posts is about someone making a UUID. Is a string that can be used as an ID. Yeah, I see someone made, like, the third resource looking up UID for Godot is a Reddit of someone saying that they made a UUID generator for Godot, which makes me think that it's not already made for Godot. Reason I know is because Minecraft Bedrock uses them for texture packs. Yeah. Yeah, the fact that the first resource is not what I was looking for, and then the next two resources are about next one is an asset to make UUIDs, and the next one is someone talking about making a UUID generator. GD. Yeah, no, what I'm seeing here is like asset libraries to generate UUIDs. So I mean, I could get an asset to do it. Interesting. Yeah, because I see the purpose. I just also don't know. It looks like there's like 5 different UUID like pre-built like for Godot asset packs I could use. I just don't know which ones would be good for my stuff. The UUID class is a Godot script static class that provides a unique identifier generated for the Godot engine. Let me view your files. Let me see how this shit works. The static UUID generator for Godot engine. UUID class is a Godot static class that provides a unique identifier generator for Godot engine. Load add-on. For hereby granted free of charge for any person to copy of this software, associated files, to deal in software without restriction. To use a copy of the software. Okay. My question is, I'm assuming if it's a UUID generator, it makes sure that there isn't any duplicate UUIDs. My question is if I delete something that has a UUID, if it would then free up that UUID, because I don't know how this works. Or I could just figure out how to make my own UUID generator for task, because it does not look like there's a built-in function in Godot for one. There's multiple resources to make, like import one, but also I don't know if they would work how I want them to work. Which is interesting thing. Which is just the thing I have to figure out. Hmm. I think the thing with UUID is like when you were saying, where it's so long, so random chances of having tiers, same is very small. That's true. I mean, that was the point, but also it's a thing of, I mean, if I make it like uh, I'm about to say a term that I think is correct, but if I made like uh, like 16, if I made a 16-bit seed thing, or if I used like a random generator or seed generator for it, so that way it was always a random thing. It's the thing of I could do that and then I could have all these options. It's just the thing of I don't want to have everything break on the basis of hitting that 1 in a trillion odd. Like, I think I would want to have a way for it to reference the files before settling on a unique ID for the task or part. I think the parts are probably going to. I mean, I should probably make it so the parts. Because as I said, I don't want to hit the 1 in a trillion odd to break everything. But also, I think the parts are less likely to actually overlap because they're all going to be. You would have to get very unlucky for a task, like a part of a task ID, to be the same as a task. Because a complicated task would have like 9 things in it, where you could have like 20 tasks at once, which ups the odds of hitting that like 1 in a trillion. Wait, is the UID only for parts? The UID is going to be for both task and parts. I want it so that you can have tasks with the same name, because this is something I think you mentioned earlier. Or I think you mentioned it earlier because you can't have tasks with the same name, or I couldn't with how the code was originally written because the file was being saved as the name. So if you made a task with the same name, it would override the file. If I make everything have a unique ID, if I make the task have a unique ID, then it means that I can have tasks with the same name. But also, I should apply the same logic to parts of task, so that way I can have multiple parts of the task with the same name. You could also have the ID be the Unix timecode for when it was made. That's actually one. I had that idea earlier and completely forgot it. That is not a bad idea. Yeah, that actually wouldn't be the worst idea. I think that is like I had that idea. It feels like I am just saying, "Oh yeah, no, I'm smart. I took that idea," but no, I actually feel like I have the recollection of that idea. I think I might have just had that idea while I was half asleep in bed this morning, because I know it was something I was thinking about. I think I was wondering how much that would actually work, but that does seem like it would just work. Then again, if someone creates a task at like the speed of light and creates 3 tasks in the matter of a second, then it would not work. But I think that was the one thing that like made it so I didn't write the idea down instantly, is because just buffer for 1 second after a task is made. I mean, yeah, I could do that. I'm trying to think. Hmm. Just buffer for 1 second after a task is made. Yeah, That probably would work. How, I guess I'm trying to think of how to do that. I guess when I'm on the create screen, what would happen is you would push the button, it would start saving the information, and then it would start a 1 second timer. So that it would start a 1 second timer after the information is saved. It would give a like loading, like saving progress that lasts a second, and then when that second ends, then it goes back to default. Because I think that is the only time where using a Unix time code for the ID would be a problem. Yeah, fake saving screen would work. Yeah. Yeah, that was if I just have it so that it always takes a second before someone can make another task, that means it will never be the same Unix code. That's not a bad idea. I should write that. I should write down to make fake savings, fake saving uh, timer. Where's the where? I have so many tabs open right now. Not I have so many tabs open and I have so many like web things open because I have my file manager. I have two web browsers. I have Godot. I have Notepad. I have my I have my tablet thing that allows me to make OBS do stuff. I have OBS and then I have ground control for chat, and then I have my VTuber or like the PNG tuber in the corner. I have just so many things running at once. Okay, I need. Oh, I was writing down. Um, creating. Add 1 second. Add 1 second timer to stop UI. Stop ID from overlapping. Write that down. Okay. So, and then I would just check if the ID is 0, because if there's no way that. Oh, I guess I'm also now remembering why the Unix timecode. The Unix timecode works for a task, but it wouldn't work for the part. Unless I make it so that each part makes it so that it takes an extra second to save. But and then you have to wait like half a minute for a complicated task. Alright. What I'm gonna do is while I'll see if a suggestion for that appears in chat, but I'm gonna go get a drink and I'm gonna go turn on my lights real quick. I was just thinking, not about the There we go. There it goes. I was just thinking of nothing for the code, but I could make it so that the PNG tuber also has a sleeping mode for my be right back. So that way, when I step away and I hit my be right back, it makes the VTuber sleepy. Yeah, fake saving. For part ID, have to be completely unique, or could a part share a UID with a part? I mean, the part the parts can have a okay. The part ID has to be unique inside of the task. A part ID can be the same, like if how I currently had it, where name was the like the saving point for a task. If I had a complicated task that was like that had a part that said read book, and then I had another complicated task that had a part that said read book, those would still work because those are separate files, because the task is one file, the IDs are inside of it. Okay, then have ID 1, part 2 have an ID of 2. Okay. I gotta think. Now I'm thinking of, in the creation of a task, how I would set those IDs. I think there is a way where I could do it, cause what I would do is when I save the task information on creation, it will do 1, 2. Because it will be separated on task creation, the different parts, and then when it saves it, it will take the information from those different parts. I would just need to figure out on task creation, when I make those different parts, that they know what order they are in, which should be possible. That should be possible. It should. I'm trying to make sure I'm not like overthinking it. It should be possible, right? Just for loops through the parts. That's fair. It should it would be possible. I'm just trying to make sure in my head that it makes sense that that's how it would work. I mean, if it doesn't work, then I can stretch. Yeah. No, that should work. That should just work. You know, that works. I'm just like in my head, I'm trying to think of what that would work. If task ID is equal to 0, I need to make it how do I do this? If task ID equals 0, can I do task ID equal to time? Got my caps lock backwards. Time dot Unix. Get Unix time from date time, I think is what I want. Oh wait, no, I want it from system time. Get date time from Unix time. Get Unix time from system, that's what I want. Task ID is equal to time dot get Unix time from system equal if task ID is equal to 0, else pass. What is it complaining about? Oh, could I just say task ID again? Does that work? Task ID is equal to time.get Unix time from system if task ID is 0, else task ID. So this would check the task ID first, then it would set the task ID, else it would, I guess, currently, I don't know if there's a way to not have this. Like, I only want it to change it if it needs to be changed. But I mean, this isn't changing it, it's just changing it to what it was. It is still changing it, it's just not actually making a change happen. Which should be fine, it just, I think that just takes more process for no reason. Yeah. Yeah. I'm like just making sure in my head that makes sense. That makes sense, doesn't it? Alright, and then what I want is I want to set up the file location. Let me double check how I did that. Variable of file location is equal to this, but I gotta change what this says. Instead of string of text, this should be string of task ID. And then am I looking in the right place? Variable file task location. Okay. And then this would be file location. Like that. For the save information, it makes sure that the task ID is not 0, else it just remains the task ID. Then it sets the file location equal to user task list plus the string plus in. Okay. Do. Oh, and then this is supposed to change to be just give config save. This opens the task location. This sets the path in that, and then it gets the information. Then it sets the value in the correct spot. This is loading it so that way. This loads it so that way it makes sure that I don't delete information. This should just be file location. And then set information is kind of a similar thing to this, if I'm not mistaken. Because just instead of, oh, I want this to be save information. Because instead of it being, what am I trying to think of? Yeah, save information, make sure everything is correct, yeah. And then I need to set information, which is get the file location. I need to get the information from this. And then I need to set, okay. Task creator, what am I, yeah. So for set information, oh, that's different. Functions, general task functions. Okay. When I set information, I need this exactly. I need to okay. I could probably save some stuff by condensing this into its own function if I'm being real. Should I just save that as its own function? I'm gonna head to bed now. Good luck. Thank you. Have a good night. I think that might be better as its own function. But what would I even call it? Location prep, maybe even. I don't know, man. Yeah, but then I owed. It would be all of this. And then in here it would be location prep. I would need given config. Okay. Guess I could make these a script wide pass. Oh, I could also condense this down. I don't need this here. I could just put file location in here. Do 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 do. Well, I I could set this as just a function, as a normal variable, like that. Oh, file location's not declared in here. Set type? Interesting. String. And then these don't need to be labeled as variables. I think it's this. Maybe I don't need that in there. Okay. Brain's going. So instead of all of this, I could just do location prep. Because that should work. Given config is a new config file. File location is string. Location prep. Variable given load is would doing this create a problem where it loads multiple files over each other. That is the question I'm having. No, that's actually the question I'm having. Why do I feel like I'm like just zoning out? I feel like I'm missing something, but I'm not. I don't think this should be a problem. Stretching. Ooh. Ba da 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 da. I think this should work. I hope it would work. And then I need to do something very similar to what this is. What I need is a variable return equal to underscore get information. Actually, I don't need to set this in here because it's being set elsewhere. Actually, is it being set elsewhere? It should be, I think. I think these should be set elsewhere. I think this is fine. Yeah. All right. Okay. Set information. What I need is I need to get given config dot get value, and then I need the same thing here. And then what I want is x2 equal to that. That should work, right? Because for everything in here, that should work. And then I don't think that needs to do anything else because it doesn't need to save information after that. Yeah. Right. To do. I think that's it. I think this is what I need. I need to save information, which it will set up the location, and then it will set values. It will get information. I think I'll take that away. Actually, no, I shouldn't. I want these to be like this, and then I want to change them into children. I think all of this is correct. I think. Yeah, I can't think of anything else right now, damn. Where am I supposed to go from here? Let's just 2D scene test. What I want is I want a script. Let's do short brain, why are you failing? Why are you failing so hard right now? What I need to do is I need to see if this works properly. Let me attach a script. Let's just test short info. Go all the way back, delete that. I want to save this. I want new folder, testing purposes. New folder, scene, save. create new folder script. Drag this into there. And then I have it so that scripts are red. So let me also make that red. And then I should probably make the scene folder have their own color as well. Let's go scene. Let's go orange. Okay, and then this extends, what did I call it? General task functions. Task functions. What I want is let me project settings, input map, add action, bug, debug, create, add, C, add action, debug, save, add, set that one to S, debug, set. Okay. And then I forgot how to get inputs. How do I get? I've completely forgotten how to get inputs. Input debug, what did I call them? Create, print, oh, I did not spell input correct. Oh wait, I'm doing it wrong. That's why I'm being stupid. If hence dot is action pressed debug create. Did I save? I did not save set. That has to be something different than S. Let's just go with A. Print dot is action pressed save print save. I just want to make sure that input works. If event dot is action pressed, set, print, set. There we go. Just make sure, let's just make sure that the buttons work. Alright, the buttons work. Now, what I need to do is I need to take all of this information. I'm struggling. Let me click. Let me click. I get rid of all of this information. Title is equal to test equal to type. It's just going to be 0. Reward is equal to 100. Progress is equal to 0. Task ID, I'm not actually going to set in here. Is part ID, those are going to get hidden. And then I want to do what do I want to do? This one's create, so I want to save information. And then I want to do the same thing. What is this? What message? What am I getting? Oh, I have so many notifications actually. Right. Save information. Set information. Then I want on ready, on function ready, pass. Actually, I want to print basically all of that. Type print print progress. Actually, what I should do is set up a temporary function. Print. Underscore, oh my god, I'm struggling so much. Print. 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 Okay, printed nothing for the title. And then if I press C to create, test 0, 100, 0, which is correct. If I then go to my files, it exists, it's in here. Yeah, no, it exists. And then what I want is on ready before everything, I want to print. No, I want to set. What do I want to set? I want to set ID. I want to set ID. Task ID is equal to the ID that this is. That way, and then I want to oh wait, no, this button, everything is 0, but then if I set information, which is A, it doesn't work. Wait, shouldn't that work? Set information is okay. File location is equal to task list, so where it's saved. Variable give load figure print X. Okay. Oh, wait. Oh, this is returning a value, not actually the name. So this doesn't work here. That doesn't work how I wish it would. Because okay, how would I make that work? Because I want to get the name that goes in here, not what the outcome was. How do I get that? How would I get that? Do I just have to write it all out? It, hmm. What do I actually do here? For X and return. What I need is to not get the value, but I actually need to get the variable. Interesting. Is there a way to... One and string array do. Interesting. Interesting. Let me look at something. I'm trying to like look through arrays real quick to see. I have node. Okay. I don't see. Yeah, I'm not seeing a way I can actually do what I want to do, if I'm being real. Cause this is just coming back with the value of it, not the actual variable. If I do variable progress in there, does that get upset? It does. I mean, could I set it equal to like 0? That, no. Okay. Oh, how would I do that? Do 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 do. Do 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 do. No, but actually, how would I do that? Okay, let me think about this. Because my only thought would be, instead of doing this, I would do what title? It was title type reward progress. Like, this is all I have in mind is doing it by hand, which is not the right. It's not a. It should be easier to do this. If I. Oh, now that just doesn't work. Assign value of. Oh, that's right. It's okay. How do I get what I do? Oh wait, it's because I'm doing it wrong. Okay, wait, let me go back just a bit. Oh wait, actually no, I didn't need to go back at all. Because it's all right here. Zero. Zero? Is that how I would do it? How would I... How to remove element, how to write, how to get size. I'm scrolling through here again. How to access. Oh wait, that should work. It's not giving me an error because it wouldn't work. It's giving me an error because I need to do it again. and then again. But these become 1 and then 2. Yes. And then this gets pasted down here. But instead of returned 1, it's 1, 2, 3. And then I just do that for all of these. And then if I press the button, it should work. Hey, it did. So what I should do is when it loads this, it should task ID should be set, then it should set information, and then it should print information. So it's loading the information correct, and then what I want is save information. I want to take this, and I want to take progress actually. And I want to, before saving information, I want to make progress 1. So let's see. When I load it, when I set the progress zeros, when I save it, it becomes 1. When I set it again, it's still 1. I close the project, open the project, it's still 1. Okay. And then if I create it, it's not actually gonna, it's actually creating a brand new one, right? Oh no, because I already set the value up here, so it isn't actually creating a new one because I preset the value up here. What I probably would have wanted to do to see if it will just create another one is put it underneath. So it looks like stuff is working. I don't have any way to like actually input the stuff or display stuff else, but this is starting to work. Oh, I'm realizing I called this general. I want to rename this. Rename general. Do I want to keep it general task functions? Because I mean, it is used for parts. So yeah. So I think I do want to keep it general task functions. Where do I go from here? Do I go anywhere from here? I think this is everything. The base is set up. My ground floor is underneath my feet. Where is? Yeah, my ground floor is underneath my feet. But I think I'm gonna end there, just cause I'm hungry. Yeah, no, I'm hungry and I'm distracted. I think I'm gonna go eat. And I'm gonna call it there for the day, just cause I am very distracted. So let me go up. One day I will have the stamina and the trajectory to do a full 5-hour coding stream. I mean, I have 6 days coming up where I hopefully will. So yeah, I hope everybody has a good night. I cannot wait for this to. This is already much better than what it was. Knowing how to inherit information has made the trajectory of this look so much easier. like actually like just so much fundamentally easier. Yeah, I hope you have a good night. Bye, everybody.